My name is Ryan March, actor and writer, student here for the past 2 years.
So you are working on a film. Tell us about that.
Right, I'm working on a couple projects actually, the main one being a film that's going to be shooting this fall. It's a film I wrote back in 2004. I started working on this project 12 years ago, and have always believed that it should see the light of day, and it finally now is. So it's been a long journey.
You wrote a part for yourself?
I did. Not the narcissistic first lead, but I'm about third or fourth build, and it's been well received. So it's really come full circle, and it's been nice. It's been a nice experience all the way around. Yeah.
Well, that was hard, right? Not writing yourself as the only main lead.
You know, when I first started writing this back in the mid-2000s, that was one of the ideas. But I was also much younger, in a place where I could have played the lead that it was focused on. Now, 12 years later, in my mid-30s. There's a role that's perfect for me, and I'm happy to jump into it. Some of the major challenges were just getting the door open, getting people to take me seriously as an artist and as a writer, and having them be willing to take the time to hear my voice. I got so many doors slammed in my face, and the hardest thing throughout this whole process, even up to this day, was to get someone to sit down and take the time to open up my material and read it. And once I got over that hump, it was very satisfying, and the feedback and the response was great. And that was just the biggest challenge, is to be taken seriously. For someone to give me their time, give me 45 minutes to an hour to read my material, and that was the hardest challenge.
So what did that do to you?
It made me ask myself, am I good enough to be doing this? Am I in the right game? Should I continue to do this? It made me second guess and question myself a lot. And then I had to come back to the material. I had to come back to how I felt while I was creating it, while I was sitting at that computer creating the story. And that feeling can't be duplicated or replicated. It's just such a empowering feeling, and I just had to keep going back to that and keep telling myself that this feeling is not fake. This is a real feeling, and it means something. So, keep telling these stories, keep putting this material out, and one of these things will stick. And thank God I did that. About 3 years after I moved to town, I realized that I wasn't going to, at least in that place and time, audition my way into the career that I wanted. I wasn't going to be able to immediately at that place and time be in the roles that I wanted to be in. So I started to write them. I have about 5 projects in development right now. This is the first one that's going, but every single project that I've written is something that I would want to be in. Something that if I saw it in the breakdowns, I would go, oh my gosh, I have to be in this. I have to be a part of this, or I have to see this when it comes out. So that has been my main motivation, and just telling stories that I think people would like to hear. So writing is a huge, huge, huge part of my life, and for a while there, it was my saving grace. For a while there, my acting career was in no place that I wanted it to be, and all I had was my writing, and I'm so grateful and thankful for that. So it's kind of been something that's always been a part of my life.
What is your definition of artistic independence?
Serving yourself artistically, treating yourself well, enhancing your voice, enhancing your vision. I think it just comes back to a lot of the things I've learned in here in this room with Steve, is that treating yourself well. We all beat ourselves up so much. I see it as actors. I see it in the audition room. I see it in here. I see it in workshops. And I've been there so many times just apologizing for existing, And writing and creating has just empowered me to stop doing that. It literally does just make me come full circle and say, I'm enough. Like, I'm more than enough. And it's just such a great feeling and such a great release, and it just gives me confidence to walk into rooms and walk into meetings and walk into big situations and own them.